One of the things that's happened is there's been an explosion in the amount of breast reduction surgeries to treat a condition called gynecomastia, where there's fatty tissue around the breast. That's gone up over 40% of breast reductions are now performed on males. So by taking aspirin, you lower estrogen and you decrease the estrogen signal to the hormone receptor positive breast cancer, potentially lowering the risk of breast cancer. The problem is there's a marketplace of ideas, and healthy eating, unfortunately, has not won so far in that marketplace. The new thing, and I think the thing we're going to hear a lot more about, is using not just the THC, which is a psychoactive component, but some of the other cannabinoids. So marijuana or pot, cannabis has over 100 cannabinoids, or molecules that act in the body. Our body has an own system of receptors called cannabinoid receptors. They're found in the heart, they're found in skeletal muscle, in bone, in the stomach, and in the brain, which is the reason why.
So the stuff that doesn't get you high can be beneficial to the body.
Right. Aspirin actually comes from the white willow tree, the bark of the tree. So this is a retrospective study basically they did a questionnaire of over 50,000 women. What they found was those that took 3 times a week low-dose aspirin had a 20% risk reduction in the most common type of breast cancer. That's what we need. We need to have really a paradigm shift as to how we eat and how we take care of ourselves. And diet is the biggest part, but also getting exercise. Also being mindful, also having a purpose in life. And I should eat mostly vegetables, fish, substitute olive oil whenever possible for butter, use fresh herbs and spices.
And discipline.
We need to be vigilant and realize that these energy drinks, and this is really, I think, the X factor is the energy drink. We know what the lethal dose of caffeine is. For a home-brewed coffee, for the average adult, it's about 100 cups of coffee.
So you can have 100 cups at one sitting if you're making coffee at home.
Right. I mean,
that's a lot.
That's the lethal dose for 50% of the population. When you start having these energy drinks, there's a wide variability in the amount of caffeine in them. For example, a Red Bull has 80 milligrams of caffeine. Some of these other energy drinks, something called Red Line, can have up to 500 milligrams of caffeine, so 7 times as much.
Wow.
Additionally, they put in other stimulants, things like guarana, which is a seed from the Brazilian rainforest, which has twice the content of caffeine as a coffee bean, things like taurine. Really, the statement from the American Academy of Pediatrics is that no adolescent, no child should be drinking energy drinks because of these risks.
When can your kids start drinking energy drinks?
Well, not until they're 18.
Okay. This kid had 3 of them. Can you just drink one, though, and you're okay?
No, I think if you're under 18, I would follow the guidelines of the American Academy of Pediatrics, and we really should be monitoring our kids and not allowing them to drink energy drinks.
You talked about 100 cups at one sitting if you're at home and you're brewing using your K-cup machine, or if you're just brewing a big pot of coffee. But if you go to Starbucks, they have more caffeine in them, right?
Again, there's also wide variability, and that's the other issue. We don't have labels for caffeine content as we do for calories or other things. So a venti Starbucks coffee has about 400 milligrams of caffeine in it. A smaller grande will probably have about a half that, but it's still a lot more caffeine than you're getting.
Are there some warning signs? I mean, for folks who are drinking coffee this morning, or heart palpitations, what
Absolutely.
happens?
So I mean, that's when you start to get toxic doses of caffeine, you get anxious, you get sweaty, you get diaphoretic. Your blood pressure goes up, you get the heart palpitations, and you get a general feeling of nervousness. Headaches are additionally common when you overdose on caffeine.
So what do you do?
So yeah, you should be vigilant. I mean, especially with young kids. You need to tell them to stay away from these energy drinks. Especially in sport, there's some confusion between the difference between a sport drink and an energy drink, and teens who are playing sports, are using these things before they work out, before big sports games, and I think parents need to be vigilant.
If you have some of these symptoms, what do? Do you go to the hospital?
Yeah, you should, absolutely.